Hi, my name is Dr. David Campt. I study dialogue and de-escalation. This video is for people at black churches especially who might be getting protests because some white people think that you're not being sufficiently mournful about Charlie Kirk. The advice I'm about to give calls upon a couple of things. It calls upon things we know from science and conflict resolution about the nature of conversation. It also calls upon black people's deep history with grief and loss and our capacity to reach out to other people who understand that, and on that basis, because we know what unfair losses mean. It also calls upon something that we know from conflict resolution and dialogue, which is a critical thing in any kind of encounter is to establish that we can agree here and disagree there. So if you're on an engagement team and you're trying to receive these people coming to protest and they're trying to make media moments and they're trying to have a big ruckus, there's several things you might want to remember. So the first is attitudinal. You're not trying to tell them that they're wrong like they're trying to tell you that you are wrong. What you're trying to do in the encounter is expose them to information that matters to you and that may or may not matter to them. They're trying to correct you, but you're just trying to, at best, educate them. Okay, in that spirit, one, try to get them into smaller groups. They want little encounters with 15, 20 people, and somebody's pointing, and the media wants that too. Try to resist that and try to get them in smaller groups, 3, 4, 5, or 6, where we're all actually talking as opposed to creating a media moment of confrontation. You want small dialogue groups, not little confrontation stages. Once you do that, let's go talk over there for a second. Once you do that, I'm gonna say a brief prayer to that this conversation goes well. The prayer might acknowledge that there's grief, that people have lost people, and we've all lost people, and we want to pray for open hearts and minds. Let our human hearts not be so broken that it keeps our Christian ears from being open. Next, find out their understanding about Charlie Kirk from social media or from however they heard about him. Consider mentioning at this point that our social media feeds might not be the same, so you want to know what they know about him because they came to protest on his behalf. What do you know about him? So as they do that, you can acknowledge that you have heard that he was a very Christian-based man, and he also engaged people from the other side. So you can acknowledge that, and if you have prepared to have a small clip in your pocket to show that you know that, that would be fine to do that. So you're on the same page about the fact that either he engaged other people or he was a strong Christian and you believe in that. See if there's anything else they want to tell you. So give them a chance to discharge before you go into your point of view. Okay. Remind them again that you acknowledge the grief, and then move on to remind them that you might have different social media feeds. So you've heard different things about him, and you want to let them know what you've seen. And here is where having a clip of him talking about black women steal thoughts of other people, don't have the cognitive power, or that gays need to be stoned, or whatever you have. Having a clip is helpful. They might not have seen that clip. Let them know as you do that you know there are people who feel like that, and that they might be one of those people, but that's not the point. The point is that he was like that, and that affects how you feel about his life, but not about his death. So, because you can agree, in closing, that political violence is wrong, and we don't need to agree about somebody's life to agree their murder is wrong. Good luck out there. It's a shame we have to do this, but don't give them the confrontations and the media moments that they want. Change it to something different. You can agree here and disagree there. That's important.